Hey guys, it is a really cloudy, horrible, sunny, mixed bunch of weather today, and so I'm just sitting back doing a bit of reading, and I came across Nigella Lawson's review of Macan, and I am really humbled by what she wrote. It's just so lovely. I don't know about you, but I've looked up to Nigella for quite a long while, since she's been doing all her TV shows, and yeah, so lovely to see such lovely words. But I noticed that she really loved the Mapo Tofu recipe, which is great. It's one of those sort of comfort food dishes that I love. And I can see that she wants to do a vegan version, or she's at least trying to do a vegan version. So maybe I'll show you how to do it. Let's pop into the kitchen. Okay, so I've got some for the Mapo Tofu. Traditionally, you use silken tofu. I've actually opted to use firm tofu for this because we're going to do a vegan sort of meat-free version. So I actually want something that's got a little bit more texture. So that's why I've opted for the firm one. I'm going to cut them. It's kind of been drained for a little bit. I'm going to cut it into 2.5 centimetre cubes, like so, like bite-sized ones. So instead of using pork, we're going to be using mushroom as sort of to give it a bit more texture, sort of that meatiness that will be missing from not using pork. So you can use any sort of mushroom. I just got some brown mushroom, but you could use shiitake, and I'll just coarsely mince them up through a knife or through a food processor. And the other key ingredients for this Mapo Tofu is having a very scorching hot Szechuan pepper sort of base, spice base. So I've got these Szechuan peppers, finely coarse them up in a pestle and mortar or a spice grinder, and using a lovely new wok burner, so we can do this outside. Everyone complained that we're not using enough fire in our videos, so here we go. I'll let that heat up. The wok burner is a little slower than anticipated, so what I'm going to do is some of the garnish. Got a lovely spring onion. Just going to finely slice some. I like using the green part. You can use the white part, up to you. Just slice it like so. And because for me, Mapo Tofu has to be quite a hot, spicy dish, I've got some chili paddies, my mum calls them, or Thai bird's eye chili. And just going to really finely slice those. You can use normal red chilies if you'd like. If you don't want too much heat, but I'm going to want a bit of fire for this lunchtime, so there we go, that will do. Okay, so when we're doing like a stir fryer like this, you want to kind of get all the mise en place, so all your prep ahead done. So we've got some minced garlic and ginger. Yep. I've got my cornflour slurry ready. I've got black beans sauce or black bean sort of paste, and a fermented red bean paste, all ready to go. Now this is just about warmed up, so I'm just going to put a little bit of the excess in there again. There we go, it's plenty. And I'm going to toast off the Szechuan peppercorns. Mama Allen came past the other day looking after us. She brought by some of her homemade chili oil, absolute gold. I'm going to use some of that oil because that's going to be flavoured with loads of Szechuan and peppercorn already. Just going to add a bit more of a kick into this. Look at that colour there. I'm going to use that in there. So that's in there. Right, first one in, we're going in with the ginger. Smells so intense. Let's give this a real gentle stir. So what we don't want to happen is any of it to burn too quickly. We want to release all that flavour and aromat from those initial ingredients. And that's going to be our base for our dish. So it's really important that we give it a lot of attention and care. Next up, we're going to add the garlic. I got quite heavy with the garlic because we're doing the vegan version, so I want to get a lot of flavour into this. And you can see that's actually absorbed quite a lot of oil, so I'm going to add a bit more of that reserved oil. There we go. I'll let that cook a bit more. Right, so next up, instead of pork, if you can use pork, if you'd like to make this a meaty dish, the mushroom's going to go in next. Now, mushroom has quite a high water content, so we're going to cook this out for quite a while until all that liquid's kind of like cooked out, or it's all cooked out. So just give it a gentle stir so it's all mixed up in all those spices, just like you would if it was pork. Because it is mushroom, what you see is a lot of liquid coming out of it. So what you'll expect is maybe seeing a little bit of that liquid in this wok. Just keep cooking it out. So what you can see here is some of the liquid coming out from the mushroom. It's fine, just let it cook out a bit more. Don't be too tempted to add more oil into there because you don't want it too oily. What's that? Sunshine. In August, in the UK. A little surprised actually. Okay, so that's cooking out a little nicely. I'm going to go with the spice paste next. So fermented red bean paste. I got this for my version. I like this gochujang. So it's a Korean red bean paste, fermented, packs a punch of flavor. Don't know if this is super authentic using this one, but for me, I love it. That's gonna go in. Now I'm gonna be a bit more generous than that because I want spice today. Next one, I've got some black bean paste. This one's got sort of a garlicky flavor to it. Again, adds a little bit more flavor. And give this a really good stir because we want to cook those pastes out a bit more as well. So I'm just going to quickly add some seasoning. So salt, caster sugar or fine sugar, a little bit of touch of pepper, a bit more, and my trusty MSG little tub. How cute is this thing? You don't have to use MSG, but obviously being friends with Uncle Roger, we've got to get it in there. And traditionally I'll be using a little bit of chicken stock for this with the pork, but I've got here some vegetable stock or veg bouillon. So again, vegan friendly. And that is going to help create that sort of stock, the sauce base. Let's add a touch more. Right, I'm going to add in the chili and the spring onions. Next up, we're going to add the corn flour slurry, just to sort of thicken that base. So I'm going to add it in bits. So this is corn flour mixed with water, and that is just going to thicken that base up. I'm going to cook it out. If it gets too thick for you, don't worry. Just add a little bit more of the stock back in there, or water. Right, let's add in this tofu. And we're going to be really gentle in just folding this in. What I like about this dish is that it fills your belly up with spicy, warm. I don't know about you, but to me, tofu on rice is the best comfort food, especially when I'm home alone or when I got to cook something really quick or finish a really late night shift. Just the texture of tofu on rice is delicious and just perfect. And so I think this is a really great dish to have, like to whip up really quickly. I just used one pot, so one wok. So it's really, really easy to put together, less washing. And also it's a big favorite with families. So you can omit all the chili if you'd like, and spice. Just stick maybe to black bean or a bit more seasoning. But it packs so much flavor and so much protein in there from that tofu and the mince. And obviously this vegan version, it's a great way of having a no meat dish. I think it's important that we eat a bit more plant-based dishes, or like meat-free dishes. Anyone who knows me, I'm still 100% backing eating meat, but selectively. So meat that you know is from a good source or good welfare. but I think it's all good for our health, right? Just to be at least attempting to try a meat-free dish once a week. Yeah, and hopefully you guys will think this is a great alternative. I certainly think that's going to, smells absolutely delicious. Right, I'm gonna plate this because it looks all nicely coated. I can see that the sauce is bubbling away nicely. Like I said, I've chosen the firm tofu here because I wanted to get a bit more texture. Otherwise it'd be quite a soft mess. Right, as always, like I said, freshly steamed rice. A good helping of that on top. I mean, that's quite a healthy portion there. And I'm gonna finish it off with some more sliced spring onion. And you can finish off a bit more chili if you'd like, but I know that I can smell that already is pretty punchy. Okay. Oh, so that is a vegan Mapo Tofu that I hope that Nigella will approve of. All right, I've only got a teaspoon left, so it's gonna be a bit small spoon. I forgot that Szechuan has that numbing effect. And my tongue's actually gonna go a bit numb now to do the video. Pull it together. Super delicious. Actually, you wouldn't be surprised that that doesn't contain meat. That mushroom has that really lovely sort of rich umami flavor that I don't even actually miss the pork. I do a little bit, but I think that is a great sort of midweek or early week meal. Again, Szechuan's making my tongue go a little bit numb, so great for video. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit that like and leave us a comment. What do you like as a vegan dish, or do you like any vegetable dishes? My tongue's gone numb. The great thing about Szechuan, isn't it? So, I'm just gonna wrap it up. We'll see you again next week. Let's makan then.